Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a particularly interesting video in my opinion, as it is about how Hollywood keeps on producing these sequels all the time, right?
That was the plan. Not a great plan.
However, with most recent news coming with Joker 2 being really disappointing, really not what people were expecting, and mass walkouts and everything like that, it begs the question of, will this die? And that's the video today, and I feel like that is the most important question at the minute, really, is will these big studios realize that the idea of a sequel is fascinating and interesting, however, it needs to be with the right project. And if it's not with the right project, it needs to be diminished and finished. And in my opinion, that is a problem that needs to be discussed, and that will be the video today. Now, my first point is about Joker 2 and how, with audience and critic score being both terrible, it highlights how disappointing people found this film and how annoyed people were with the film, not just because of the certain actors like Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix, not that reason, due to the fact that the writing was off point, it didn't go along with the comics, it was just in a way, a big, F you to the, in a way, the fans who liked the first film, and they felt like as if that they should turn it on its head in a way and just ruin it, which is just disappointing, and it just lacks the creative nuance that the first film had, which was incredible. The first film was very creative and amazing, and the second film lacked that. And it just felt very commercial, and it felt very commercialized, and something that you just don't want to see in a way. And that's a big problem overall with films, sequels mainly. Overall, like take the Marvel Cinematic Universe for instance. When you see sequels, sometimes they are good. Like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is good, but a sequel coming out a couple of years ago with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, now that was very disappointing, and it lacked the creative nuance that a Marvel film used to have, and especially the first two Ant-Man films, which were very good. Now, considering that point, it just shows how a sequel in a way is completely and utterly not needed without the perfect script. The sequel has to realistically be as good, if not better, than the script before it. And that's what it lacks at the minute. That's what Hollywood lacks. A good script, and a good script to fit an original film in a sequel. Because originally, Joker wasn't going to be a sequel. It never was going to be a sequel. And it just shows how just because it made $1 billion doesn't mean you need a sequel. It could just stayed as a perfect project and everyone would have still been praising this film. However, they had to make a sequel and they ruined it. Like for instance, when Todd Phillips got asked about a sequel, he said no, there probably won't be a sequel. The quote is on the screen now. I can't remember what it was particularly what he said, but it was around the sort of way of there won't be a sequel. The idea of a sequel sounds interesting, but at the minute it was just going to be one film, original film, done. Now, one thing that I could probably suggest is that they just shut down sequels in a way for a couple years and we just get original content. Original content is the baseline of most intellectual properties. Of course it is. Like you wouldn't get MCU without Iron Man, you wouldn't get, Star Wars without A New Hope. Like those were original projects that have been built upon through sequels. Now, we need more original content to create new IPs. Now, we don't need to keep on rehashing, for example, like the Joker. We don't need to keep on rehashing this character. every so often just because it made a certain amount of money, or this popular character needs a new iteration or a film. Like for Spider-Man example, Spider-Man, every single film has its own uniqueness, goodness, I know that's not a word, goodness, well done moments, but it also has its flaws. Every film has its flaws, but we all accept that each three of them are all good in their own right, and the sequels that they build upon them are, if good, if not better, except for a couple of those films. Now, Joker 2 completely destroys any new projects that they could be coming out with in that certain universe, and it's definitively stopped it. We will never get it again. Now, another point I'm coming with is like for future projects. Now, of course, we've got Sonic 3, which isn't a problem, right? I have to make a specific problem. There's a necessary sequel, like Sonic 3 needs, in a way, a necessary sequel, and there's unnecessary sequels and prequels, like the Mufasa film that's coming out now. Do I think Mufasa will be good? Yes, I feel like it'll be good. However, does it mean that it's necessary? Of course it's not necessary. Why are they making it? I think we all know no. I think we all know why. Sonic, for example, is an intellectual property that's had 2 really good films, and they're building upon it to make a trilogy of films. Now, will they make a 4th? Probably. Is that necessary? Depending on how the demand of the 3rd film? Potentially, yes. However, if the demand is less, maybe not so. But that's a discussion for another day. I'm talking about how Joker is completely bombing, and how studios should learn from it. And let's say Mufasa flops completely and loses to Sonic 3. Both of them are like a sequel, prequel, but it's still, in a way, it just shows the lack of need for sequels and the lack of want for them. Like, I don't want to see like 100 sequels in a year. I want to see good original projects, and we're not getting that. We're not getting that at all. And we need to see that soon, or else our belief in the theatre and the cinema and the big screen and stuff like that in Hollywood is just like going to diminish, because what we're all seeing is remake sequels and everything alongside of that. Like, it's just a bit disappointing, and we know that they could get better, and it's just the writing. It's the writing, the directing, the producing, and the need for a good pitch. That's what we need. And we need good originals. So, for instance, people will be like, oh, that's new, I want to see that. Like, for instance, the Wild Robot that came out recently, that's being like told that's been meant to be really, really good and everything like that. You know why? Because it's an original project. We've been getting that. Like, for instance, same DreamWorks, same studio, earlier, Kung Fu Panda 4 wasn't told that it was very good. And it wasn't as good as the first 3, because it was 7 years after. Now, was that 4th film necessary? Probably not. Was that film necessary? We don't know. But it was original, so that has nothing to do with it. It was a good film, and because of that, people liked it, and they can't have anything to say about it because it's an original film. Like, that's a really good thing to do. And for instance, right, Disney, with their most recent projects, especially for Pixar, right, they're realistically only marketing the Dream Productions series from Inside Out 2, right? However, they're not really promoting Win or Lose that much, right? Because it's an original project. They don't know. They don't know if it's like going to be a big success or not. However, if they marketed it and showed so many trailers of it and stuff like that and did a big marketing push, I tell you what, it will be a success. Of course it will. And it'd just be really successful and everything like that. This is the point I'm making, is that we need original content. We just don't need sequels, because sequels clearly aren't being a success. Nobody would have thought that the Joker film would have been a horrible misfire. I didn't. Lots of people didn't. Some people did. However, with the ending and just the way that the film went and the songs, it just meant that it was unsuccessful and really disappointing. In the comments, I'd really want you to tell me, what do you think? And do you think that we need new original content, or do we just need to just stop in a way and just have to take a really deep breath? And I really hope you like this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please put the comments in below, of course, and please like the video if you haven't already. And please subscribe. Of course, I'm trying to get to 30 subscribers by the end of this month. It's getting a little bit like, I've still got 22 left on my subscribers, so I just need 22 more. But that 22 more is going to be a lot. So, please do if you can. And yeah, if you'd like to watch another video about my Joker 2 review, that'd probably be a very good one to watch after this video. You can do so here. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so here. But yeah, that was it. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, bye.